What's going on, everybody? This is your host, Sean Johnson, the creator of Bench Minor Hockey, and welcome to episode number 10 of our Bench Minor Hockey podcast. This is the hockey podcast that covers single A hockey news, as well as stories from players and staff. And a friendly reminder, if you're following along on the Apple podcast, make sure you follow us. If you are following along on the video podcast on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And today's guest is number 13 from the Elmira Mammoth, Mr. Parker Moskal. Parker, thank you for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Happy to be on the pod.
Perfect. And so what's going on there in Elmira? How's the weather?
Weather's cloudy, typical upstate New York. Hopefully it gets snowy soon now that we're around the holidays, but just cloudy out lately.
I was going to say, if you need any snow, just contact Watertown. They got plenty that they'll share with you, I'm sure.
I know they couldn't even get their bus out a couple weeks ago. That was some crazy weather we were having.
Yeah, speaking of that, they're actually supposed to play you guys that night, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to have a home and home with them, and then obviously there was that unheard of weather they had up there. I think they got 40 plus inches of snow in 24 hours or something. It was absurd.
That's insane. Now, I haven't really been keeping track. Have they announced a makeup date yet or no?
No, they haven't, but I think something's in the
Okay.
works.
All right. Well, something's going to come about that, I'm sure, soon. So we were just kind of talking off the air for a minute, and you said you're from San Diego.
Yeah.
And I kind of got to thinking about that. You've been in the Fed for a few years now. What's it like living so far away from home?
It's definitely different. I mean, last year I was in Sweden and that was a pretty cool experience. I've been pretty fortunate and grateful for the towns I have been able to play in the Federal League. I mean, Mentor, Ohio was Cleveland metro area, so that was a pretty neat place to be. Obviously, Columbus, Georgia is one of the most beautiful spots you could possibly be in minor pro hockey. And then Elmira, again's a old school hockey town. They had an ECHL franchise here before, and the town loves hockey, so it's a great place to be as well.
And being that you're from the West Coast, does your family stream every home game?
Yeah, I've got some people back home that watch a lot of the home games, keep tabs on me, and like to watch the hockey. Big supporters of whatever team I'm on, and obviously me. So it's great to have that support system.
Absolutely. Has anyone made the trip out yet to see you live?
No, no one's made the trip out this year yet to see me live, but in the past, I've had people come out to Columbus and Mentor when I've been in the United States. Had someone come see me play in Pensacola when I had a stint there, so hopefully someone
Right.
soon.
Well, regardless, you got a lot of supporters there in Elmira. How's the fan base?
The fan base here is actually really better than I expected. The people in the town are amazing people. We have a lot of supporters that already ordered jerseys with whoever's last names are on them, but we see the jerseys every night we're playing. They come talk to us after the games down in the Fandemonium bar at the arena, and they're amazing people.
I will say when they first did the jersey reveal, I wasn't a fan. I I didn't really care for the orange and purple, but I will say it's kind of growing on me.
It's one of my
What do you think
favorite
about it?
it's one of my favorite setups in the league personally. I think the orange is really unique. We just revealed our orange third jerseys on Friday last week. We wore them. A lot of people like those. They look good on the camera, obviously. And I mean, the purple and orange is such a unique color setup that it just pops no matter what colors playing against.
Right, that third jersey, is that the one you just had a moment ago?
Yeah, let me grab it actually. It's a pretty
For
cool
those
looking
that missed the third jersey reveal, see, I don't know. At first, the purple and orange I thought was gaudy, but I don't know. It's starting to grow on me.
Yeah, it's a really clean look in my opinion, especially with the matching pants and we've got our matching gloves coming in here soon. Purple
Hmm.
helmets, like it's just a really clean look, I think.
I guess Elmira is just famous for very bright colors.
That's an understatement.
So, same city, new name, new look. How do you like the rebrand so far?
The rebrand's night and day from the last regime that was here. They do things. I think we have the best ownership group that's ever been a part of the Federal League. I mean, Steve Donner owned the Rochester Amherst, Greenville in the ECHL. Like he's done it all. Ran the National Lacrosse League. So I think the ownership's night and day. The the upgrades they've made to the arena from the last time I was here, it's amazing. New sound system, new roof, new lighting. It feels like a pro arena now. It's amazing.
Same purple seats?
Yep, same purple seats. Match the jerseys this time though.
Absolutely. Yeah, speaking of Steve Donner, I've talked to him a few times. I really like him. I can't wait to meet him in person there. Is he very like an interactive owner? Does he come down to the dressing room, talk to you guys, things like that?
Yeah, he's super interactive and hands-on. He actually made the trip up to Watertown with us to support as well. So it's nice having an owner that really cares about what goes on here and cares about the players, not only as players, but also human beings.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great to hear about him. I know, I'm not gonna name drop or anything like that, but I know there's a few owners out there. They're just there to make a quick buck, and they're not really involved too much. So it's good to see people like him stay involved with their team.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome to see that change coming in the Federal League.
So, what was game one like in Elmira? Opening night, new team, new squad. What was that like?
So game one, we obviously our roster was kind of hodgepodge patched together. We were waiting for some
Hmm.
guys to come in, so game one was a tough one. Obviously, the morale was really good. Mr. Donner took great care of us, had a nice pregame meal for us, made everyone feel like pros, which is pretty nice to have in this league. And we
Hmm.
obviously didn't deliver, but we played better than expected. I
Yeah,
think we
absolutely. I
expected
mean,
it worked way worse, and we played well. And obviously, the improvement game to game has been something special here.
yeah, absolutely. I was going to get to that in just a moment. There, I know you guys started your season off pretty tough, but anyone who's ever been in pro hockey knows you don't just start a franchise and it's automatically successful. Like the Vegas Golden Knights, they're about the only team in history I think that's ever done anything like that what they did. But talk about like some of the hardships like coming in as a new team.
Just as far as like having guys that didn't really know the program, obviously it was a new program, and with there being 10 teams, it was hard to recruit in the beginning, I think. And then once people heard from whether it be me or someone else how great things were ran here and how well players were treated compared to other teams in this league or even the Southern Professional League, it made it much easier to get quality players and quality human beings to come be a part of this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there. Um, as far as recruiting goes, now mind you, I'm not a recruiter, I'm not a coach, I'm not a player. Um, this podcast is kind of for fans that just want to see like they want to get the inside scoop. They want to see like a player's perspective, things that they don't get to see from their seats. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As far as recruiting goes, if a player, how do I want to word this? If a player sees that a team is struggling, let's say you guys start off with a 10 loss season, what would make them want to join that crew?
Just the belief in something special and sort of seeing like, I mean, we obviously have some things that other teams don't have as far as arenas go, ownership. I mean that gets around pretty quick in this tier of minor pro hockey when people realize they're treated better somewhere. And obviously, they see a team struggling where they could potentially make more of an impact than they would on another team. It gets certain
Hmm.
players excited.
Yeah, I when I first saw you play, it was in Mentor, and let me tell you, I'm like, who is this number 13? Like, he's flying around here, he's scoring on us, and so when I saw you signed with Elmira, I thought that was kind of interesting. And then I see Yanni Lyrakos, who is another one of my favorites. What has it been like teaming up with Yanni?
It's been interesting. Yanni's a solid player. He's obviously I haven't played with him much this season, but he puts in work on the ice, and obviously he's very good on the power play.
Now, who do you think is your go-to guy in the ice? Who do you work the best with?
On the ice, I think Tate Leeson. I played with him a little bit in Sweden last year when I was down for a bit, and when I saw the opportunity to bring him in here, I was super excited and talked with him for a lot of the summer after I found out the role I was going to have in Elmira.
Hmm.
And when I found out he was on board, him and I are just he's the easiest player I've ever played with. Like I know exactly where he is, he knows exactly where I am. Neither of us really want the credit and we just put our noses down and make things happen.
All right, absolutely. Like a Korea Solane duo right there.
That's why I wear 13, Team Usolani.
Oh, ridiculous. Now, I know we talked about the ownership a little bit and what it's like being in Elmira. How is the locker room right now? How are you guys feeling after these last 3 games?
The locker room morale is awesome right now. I mean, we beat Delaware. We should have beat Danbury. Obviously, we kind of fell apart there in the end, but it was a good learning experience for all of us, top to bottom. And then to rebound from something like that happening to taking down Watertown, we're all feeling real good in there. Guys are coming to the rink excited. We believe we can start winning. Like, it's a great feeling.
I didn't really check out the numbers, so I don't want to kind of misspeak here, but did you notice a dwindling in the attendance at all from the first game to the 10th game, kind of when you guys were struggling a little bit?
Not really. I think it may have
Okay.
dropped a little when we had conflicting high school football games, as you see with most minor pro teams at this part of the season. But it's starting
Hmm.
to pick back up. I think we had close to 2,000 on Friday night when we played here. And then we actually had some
Right.
fans. We actually had some fans make the trip up to Watertown too, which was super neat to see. I mean, that's a 3.5 hour drive. So we've got some committed fans in Elmira.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember a few of those fans from the Enforcer days, so I'm glad that they're going back and supporting the new team, and you guys got kind of like a road crew there. It's pretty cool,
Yeah, the support's amazing. There's nothing like it.
especially in the Northeast, because I mean, you guys have some pretty doable trips for fans. I mean, Binghamton's close, Watertown's close. Um,
I think
I don't know how
I
far
think
Delaware is or
Danbury,
Danbury, but
yeah, Danbury's about just as far as Watertown, I think, though. Maybe
okay.
30 minutes further. Like, we've got very doable road trips for fans that want to come watch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, let me ask you this. This isn't a trick question, but what motivates you as a hockey player?
What motivates me as a hockey player is I want to be I want to be on a top team in the league. I want to win hockey games, do whatever I can to help a team be successful. That's my motivation. It's never been personal. It's all about getting to that championship game and getting as close to that as I can every year.
You want a orange and purple ring at the end of the year,
I would love nothing more. I think the fans in Elmira and the ownership and everyone else would love nothing more either.
right? And I wanted to ask you about being a player and assistant coach. As fans, like we see that as a title, but what does the responsibility entail being a player assistant coach?
So my responsibility as a player assistant has been heavily on recruiting players, bringing in guys, like say Tate Leeson, Isaiah Crawford, Yanni Learakos. Like I've been that's mostly been what I've been working on here is bringing in the right guys to get the win.
Now, when you say the right guys, do you mean people that you've played with in the past that you want to play with again, or just players that you kind of scout out and you're like, I like the kind of style of game that he plays. I want that to be in Elmira.
Players that you see that can help a team win. Like Matt Bazarin came in and he's another guy who can hit, shoot, score, pass. We've brought in certain guys that I just saw. Like Nathan Campbell's another
Hmm.
one. Never really played with him. Just always have liked how he plays the game, and more importantly, he's a good person. Like we want great hockey players, but even better people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like you guys are doing some good things there in Elmira. From Steve Donner all the way down to you being a player assistant coach. Um, I know that the first 10 games were rough, but man, you guys look like a whole new club.
Yeah, and I mean we've got great head coach in Glenn Tamaris as well. He's got one of the best resumes in this league. I think he won NCAA Division III Coach of the Year twice. Took a couple teams to the Frozen Four. He's probably forgot more about hockey than I'd ever know. So it's really nice having a guy like that around to kind of hear his side of things,
Right,
pick his brain about things he sees. Like he's a great hockey mind to have.
right. He's been around the block a time or two.
Oh yeah.
So as a group, what's the end goal?
The end goal here is to bring a championship back to Elmira. Just come together, believe in ourselves, believe in each other, believe in the town, everything, and bring a championship back.
Right? You got me believing. You know what I mean? Like these last 3 games have been insane. Like I don't mean to get personal here, but I'm not so much like a stats guy. Hockey's a team game. But looking at your stats here, 11 points in the last 3 games. That's insane.
Yeah, it feels good, but I mean, I've got really great line mates helping me do my job out there. Tate Leeson, he's all over the ice. He's one of the faster players I've played with. We just brought in Donnie Carter. He's a guy I know through roller hockey, actually. That's how I remembered him and got in touch with him to come on out. And he's super fast, plays the game simple, has one of the best releases I've ever seen. And it's easy to be successful personally or stats wise, whatever you want to call it, when you've got guys like that who you're lucky enough to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, you know what? I want to get to a couple of fan questions that a few Elmira fans reached out to me. They wanted me to ask you a few questions here.
Okay.
Cameron wants to know, what did the locker room look like and sound like after your first franchise win?
So the first franchise win, it felt the closest to win a championship I think you'd feel without winning a championship. We were all having a good time in there. Mr. Donner was down there with us. Glenn was in there. Our assistant GM and goalie coach Michael Cosentino was in there. All our equipment staff was in there, and we were just all having a great time. It was a great feeling to finally see something come together.
Just like a lot of stress off your shoulders.
A lot of stress. We were all loose, having a great time, dancing to some 80s music, running around the room. It was great.
Oh boy, what'd you have on? Was it Roxette?
What did we have on? Shoot. September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's what we had on. That's what we were all boogieing
All
to.
right, all right. What's your guys' win song right now?
I think it might actually be September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I just spoke with Jay Krug not too long ago, and Columbus River Dragons. They're listening to Shania Twain. So man, they're on a 10 game win streak, so they're listening to a lot of Shania right now.
Oh, yeah. We're looking to go on a heater like that here,
It's
though.
gonna
I
happen.
think you'll be seeing it relatively
You
soon.
heard it here first, Elmira Nation. Parker is gonna go on a win streak here.
The boys are ready to go on a win streak. We're bought in and ready to do it.
I believe it. You got me believing. Derod had this to say: what potential do you hope to bring versus the upcoming series with Mississippi?
So the upcoming series with Mississippi is obviously going to be a very physical, hard-fought series. We both have absolutely identical records going into this weekend, and I'm looking to do personally whatever I can to help win, whether that's blocking a shot, winning a crucial face-off, making that pass, taking that hit to make the play, or shooting the puck. Just whatever I can do on the ice that's needed of me is what I'm going to do to help.
Perfect. And earlier today, um, they announced that they had let Coach Esposito go. So Coach Joe Pace Jr. is going to take the reins. Do you think that makes a difference in your guys' game plan at all, or are you going to treat it the same?
We're going to treat it the same. It's just we're playing another team. You can't think too much into that stuff. I think where are we at now? The game's 4 days away now. So we're not really changing what we're doing. We're going to play our system and see if they can contain what we bring.
Perfect. Brandon says, being a new team, it takes time for players to gel together. The team seems to really be coming together on the ice the past few games. What has the attitude and atmosphere been like in the locker room this year, and has it made an impact on the ice?
Yeah, the last say 2 or 3 weeks here, we had some close losses with Danbury where we were a 1 goal game going into the third, and we all kind of started believing there, like, hey, if we can hang with one of the top teams in the league, why not us? And the positivity just kept growing. And when you've got that much positivity in a room, great things are going to happen. So the positive mindset carried into the games, and that's helping us immensely.
Perfect. I like that. The why not us part. Why not us? I mean, it's anyone's game. I mean, no one's
Yeah,
mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, right? So
it really is anyone's game. It's anyone's season at this point. We're 13 games into the season. It's just getting started.
absolutely. And last fan question here. Gary Ryan wants to know what is the best prank that's been pulled in the locker room so far? You guys a bunch of
Hmm.
pranksters or not really?
That's that's a tough one. We had one a week or two ago. We had a new player come in, and one of the guys, I won't name his name. It might have been Tyler Becker. He loosened up a couple of the water bottle caps, and this new player that came in, he goes to open the water bottle to drink some water, and it just dumps all over his face, and it lightened the mood up. Everyone started laughing who was on the bench, even the guy who had the water dumped on his face, and it was a nice little positivity thing to have where everyone's laughing about it.
Right. And I mean, as a new team, that's what you need. You need some morale, you know. So those
Yeah,
little
and
pranks mean a
we've got
lot in
some
the end.
great yeah, we've got some great locker room guys like Stavros Soilis, Noah Wild. Obviously, Mo Levac is a great leader to have around here.
Hmm.
He's really stepped up, and that veteran presence is great to have. And it's really just coming together. I can't stress that enough. How much we've come together as a team and are just believing in each other, our system, and what we can do night in night out.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. You know, like I said, I love watching you guys. I'm in North Carolina, so when you guys come down to the see the Thunderbirds, I'll probably make a trip over there. But until then, I'm on the YouTube watching you guys, and you're fun group to watch, really.
Yeah, we play a real skilled game, which I hope people enjoy. I mean, there's not many teams that play that skilled of a game.
Hmm. Absolutely. And we're just about running out of time here. Is there anything that you would like to say to the Elmira Mammoth fans watching?
Yeah, keep on coming out to the games. Your support is what makes us want to play the game. We're definitely not playing the game for the pay. We're playing because we love the game and love seeing the fans interacting with them and just being a part of everything with them. It's for the fans.
Spoken like a
So keep
true
on
professional.
supporting, and we appreciate each and every one of you.
Absolutely. And if you have not followed the Elmira Mammoth on social media yet, make sure you follow them on all social media channels. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. We will link all of their information here in the video, and we will flash the Elmira Mammoth logo so you can see that bright purple and orange beast. But I appreciate you coming on, Parker.
Yeah, I appreciate you having
Of
me.
course. We'll talk again soon, buddy. All right.
Yep, sounds great. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.